In 100 episodes, per episode, more than 10 people getting chicks.
Correct.
Okay, so that comes out to be a number of 1,000 people. Where are the businesses? Where are they? I am still searching for them.
But now that you're seeing there's so much of entrepreneurial fashion going on in the market.
Everyone is an entrepreneur.
Everyone is an entrepreneur. Everybody is hustling and thriving in their own fields.
Yeah.
But what do you think? How much of financial discipline is there prevalent?
Frankly, there is no financial discipline in India. But the big brands like Haldiram, Bikaner Wala, okay, so these guys have even done jobs somewhere.
Yes.
ये भी अपने गांव से आए थे तो इन्होंने पहले किसी की दुकान पे बैठ के ये मिठाइयाँ और ये नमकीनें बनाई थी अपने हाथ से. Then only they became the brands. The large category of the people in India, that is ones who take the loans but they don't repay. There is a deviation of money in the market.
And that's a big chunk of money.
That's a big chunk of money.
But people are saying all these top 5% of people in India that you see, the richest, this is nothing but they've just taken loans and would not
ऐसा नहीं
repay.
है. They can buy the banks.
Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of Mic पे मिलेंगे. I am your host तमन्ना. In today's episode we have a guest जो कि एक ऐसी दुनिया के बारे में बात करेंगे और उसे simplify करेंगे जिसे most of the entrepreneurs and founders डरते हैं. फाइनेंस और क्रेडिट की दुनिया. Mr. Anubhav Mittal, the founder of Easy Consultants, has helped big companies and big businesses to understand capital, structure financing, and even recover them from financial crisis situations like NPAs and low credit scores. और तभी बहुत सारे businesses ideas की वजह से fail नहीं होते बल्कि they fail because of not having a knowledge of financial structure and capital strategy. And that's why on today's episode of Mic पे मिलेंगे we are gonna decode the real mechanics behind how this entire industry operates, of how the psychology of an investor works, the reality of reality shows, the system difference between US and India, and much more. So let's welcome none other than Mr. Anubhav Mittal, the founder of Easy Consultants, to our show. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for coming here and believing in that we can do justice to your story. So the thing is that one thing that everybody has their own ways of leading life and choosing their career path. When did you realize that finance and capital structuring is...
When I saw people in trouble.
Oh, okay.
Finance is a very wide field in India. Okay. People are not aware. The normal people, what they know is कि आज मुझे लोन चाहिए, मुझे बैंक जाना है, पेपर सबमिट करने हैं, जैसे बैंक वाला बोलेगा उसको सारे पेपर्स देने हैं और मुझे लोन मिल जाएगा.
Correct.
बट उसके बाद के क्या प्रॉज एंड कॉन्स हैं, कितनी EMI उसकी आने वाली है, वो उसको रीपे कैसे करेगा. बैंकर्स दे डू देयर ड्यू डिलिजेंस. बट लोग सिर्फ उस लोन को लेने के चक्कर में जो आगे के प्रॉज एंड कॉन्स हैं वो उसको भूल जाते हैं.
Okay.
And that's how they get into the trouble. And that's where when I saw a lot of people in trouble and they're not able to understand the process, a lot of NPAs happening because of the regulation authorities, because of the CIBIL, because of the CRISIL, so many issues happening. So I was like, okay, now let's get into this and help people out.
Wow. And what was your age back then when you chose this?
At that time, I was just 22.
Oh, pretty young. But now that you're seeing there's so much of, entrepreneurial fashion going on in the market.
Everyone is an entrepreneur now.
I'm not saying this. You are saying this.
No, everyone is.
Everyone is an entrepreneur. Yeah. Everybody is hustling and thriving in their own fields. Yeah. But what do you think? How much of financial discipline is there prevalent?
Frankly, there is no financial discipline in India.
Not at all?
Not at all.
How many financially disciplined people you've seen in India?
If you talk about, let's say, in a ratio from 100 to whatever, then it would be only 10%.
My God.
Not more than that.
And I guess that's...
आज की डेट में हर चलता फिरता आदमी, लड़का, लड़की, जवान, बुढ़ा सब बोलते हैं मेरा बिजनेस है, मैं एंटरप्रेन्योर हूँ.
They're sitting with their laptops in the cafes saying we are hustling.
But that's not good. That's not good. You talk about the reality of yourself, ठीक है, you have started from the best of the institutes in the world.
Correct.
But if you haven't achieved that position in any of the big corporates and you're coming up with any of the startup or you're coming up with any of your own company, saying yourself as an entrepreneur, So at least achieve that and then say you're an entrepreneur. In US and UK, when we call it as an entrepreneur, so it's particularly the people who have achieved something.
Okay. There's that level that they've
There's a
crossed.
level. All right. But यहाँ India में तो सब चलता है, so it's okay.
But I guess our government is pushing really hard behind
Government is
entrepreneurship.
pushing hard towards the startups.
Yes.
But again, how many startups are achieving what they want?
True that. How many they just give up in the
Out of 100, just 10, 5, let's max 15. So that's not the real thing about the startups.
correct.
Every day a new startup is opening.
True that. And when you see somebody or you talk to somebody being in this industry for so long, do you get to know within minutes that how are they
Of
going to do?
course. Of course.
How much time does it take?
Hardly half an hour.
आधे घंटे में you're like fail or pass.
Yeah. But it's not like other reality shows, na? Ki, we are coming in, we are pitching within 5-7 minutes. You decide, okay, this person is good, this person model is good, the profile is gonna do wonderful, and then you just give the funding. No, it's not like that. It's not that easy, rather.
It's not that easy.
It's
And we
not
don't
that
know what's
easy.
happening behind, right?
Yeah.
Which we'll hop on later.
Yes.
I have a lot of questions for you, all
Please.
controversial. So, another thing is that when I searched about you, sir, you've been from the very prestigious college, London School of, Economics. It's
Yeah.
not only famous in UK, but across the globe,
Everywhere.
right? So, why did you not choose the easy path, get into a big company, get a great job, great money?
I never wanted to do job.
You never?
Never.
How did you know that you're not a job person?
Because I can't let anyone, rule over me. You may call it the blessings from my forefathers or whatever. Okay. We are not meant to be ruled. One. And the second thing is, what I felt that after completing my graduation and everything, and I was like, no, let's go back to our own country and let's do something for the people there. Not just rather taking a good corporate job and having a desk and an office and just sitting and chilling.
Correct.
And every month you're getting the salary. I never wanted that thing.
But not only this, sir, you chose to become an angel investor.
Yeah.
And that's it's a big responsibility.
It is.
So, don't you ever think that maybe I would have taken something easier for myself?
No, this is very easy.
This is easy.
This is easy, and that's why easy consultants.
Oh, now I get it. But have you ever felt that, you are not, when you talk about finance, it's not just few numbers, right? There's so many emotions involved to it, people having big ambitions, a lot of failures. How do you see finance from that perspective?
I always see finance in only one perspective. If you have taken a loan from somewhere,
Okay.
bank, NBFC, private investor, even your family money, focus on your business rather than deviating the money here and there.
Okay.
It's a 4 simple alphabets word. Loan. L-O-A-N. But it is not that simple.
Okay.
It is not that simple. You need to have a very good profile. You need to have a good collateral. And then how would you be the repayment capacity back to that institution from where you're taking the loan? That has to be in a proper structure.
Correct.
That's how the banks and NBFCs, they give you the loan.
True.
What is the structure in the startup? There is no structure. There is no collateral. Whatever the startup thing is going on in India right now, and everybody is running towards the startups.
They take money from their dads and then they call it bootstrap business. Oh God.
Actually, this is horrible.
That's horrible.
What I have learned in my past 20 years down the line now, you really need to have some good experience before doing anything in your life.
True that.
हमारे बाप दादा ने भी बोला हुआ है कि बेटा आपको कोई भी काम करना है पहले उसको समझ लो, वो काम किसी के साथ मिलके कर लो. Today you talk about the big brands like Haldiram, Bikaner Wala.
Yeah.
Okay, so these guys have even done jobs somewhere.
Yes.
ये भी अपने गांव से आए थे तो इन्होंने पहले किसी की दुकान पे बैठ के ये मिठाइयाँ और ये नमकीनें बनाई थी अपने हाथ से. Then only they became the brands.
And people are skipping that journey completely.
Of
now.
course, because they feel that everyone is having so much of knowledge and experience is just rushing back.
GPT is not knowledge.
ChatGPT is not knowledge. AI is not the knowledge.
Yes.
It's making things simple for people, but rather it's washing away the sharp memory of the people.
The experience that you could have get if that
Yes.
wasn't there.
Something which is written by hand yourself and something which you're typing and someone else is giving the answer. How would your mind get so much used to the things that you will face in life later?
In fact, you're narrowing your horizons
Yes.
completely.
Yes.
100%. But as you mentioned, we are easy consultants. But back then, when you started, there were already other structures that people could rely on. Then, where did you find the gap that you had to
So the
come?
gap was basically, see, what happens is like there are three types of people there in the market. One is who are already having their own money. They don't need the loan from any of the banks or any of the institutions, and they are good to go with their businesses. And they say that whatever we are earning, we are self-sufficient. We are having those much expenses in my life, and we will go ahead with that. Okay. The second kind of people is who go to the banks. They take loans, and they are repaying the loans on the proper time,
Okay.
and their journey is going on smooth.
Okay.
At the end, when they need some top up or the OD or the CC from any of the banks, they go to the other banks, they take the ODCC, they take a top up, and again they get smoothened up.
Okay.
And they are good profiles. Rather, I would say good middle class profiles. Okay. Now, there are the large category of the people in India, that is ones who take the loans, but they don't repay it. There is a deviation of money in the market.
And that's a big chunk of money?
That's a big chunk of money.
But okay, there's another interesting question. I saw this reel. Okay, you can pass if you don't
Go
like
ahead.
the question. People are saying all these top 5% of people in India that you see, the richest, this is nothing but they've just taken loans. And
Nahin,
not
aisa nahi
repaying.
hai.
It's not there, right?
It's not there.
It's not
Aisa
there.
nahi hai.
They are very smart with their
They're
money.
very smart with that.
Have you dealt with any
I
profile?
happened to meet one of the top 5, what you said,
Okay.
only for half an hour. And when we had a discussion, it was one of the natural gas, this plant project somewhere down in Gujarat. And we
Wow.
were sitting in a meeting. They are having their own vision for it.
Okay.
They know अगर हमारे पास पैसा है, हमें इस पैसे को यहाँ पे लगाना है, हमें बैंक से कितना लेके आना है और उसके बाद बैंक को वापस कितना करना है और अपना घर में कितना लेके जाना है.
Acha. They're very clear.
They're very clear about it.
Wow.
It is not that their businesses are running on banks. They can buy the banks. They're having that much of money with them. But the problem is that just in India, people have nothing to do just to talk.
And they call themselves financially literate.
Oh yeah, whatever. I can see that, definitely. When I got to see one or two reels like that earlier. But this is all bullshit. If you talk about this finance literature people or even the people who call them good angel investors, I happened to meet one person in Singapore recently, 3 days before. He was an Indian.
Okay.
He's having an office in Singapore next to mine. And he just opened 6 months back. So we just generally met and he was a Guju guy.
Okay.
I asked him, what do you do? So he was like, I'm a financier. I was like, okay. So are you the financier or you are getting it done from somewhere else? So he said, no, I'll do myself. I said, what is the amount you have invested till now? He said, nothing, just like only $10 million. I was, $10 million and you call yourself an investor? Yeah, so isn't this enough? I was like, okay, thank you so much, Mr. Really, it was good to meet you. Problem is, people, they sell off their lands. The money they get in their bank accounts or in cash, or their Bab Dadas are having that money. Any upcoming kid who doesn't want to liking the profile, oh, I'm an angel investor, venture capitalist, and sitting on the table and people coming and pitching themselves.
Yes.
With a small amount of 5 crore, 10 crore, 20 crore, they call themselves investors.
Okay.
Why?
What do you think is the minimum amount to call
Minimum
themselves?
should be at least a 1 billion. That should be there with you.
True that.
You're having only 5 crore, 10 crores in your bank account and say, yaar, main to investor hu. What nonsense is this? What is that profile? No. But आजकल It is more of show off.
Yes, it's a very fancy word
It's
indeed.
a very fancy word, but the reality is totally different.
Completely different.
Totally different.
But now that we are talking about the profiles, another interesting angle is builders in our nation. They're very famous for this case.
One of the most fancy profiles in all over India.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yet again, with people in the biggest loopholes in their financial profile.
Okay, tell me, I'll ask you one thing. I'll ask you one question.
Sure.
Have you recently heard about so many builders who have been taken up by the banks and which are the big names?
Yes. Conducting
They're
big events, big
conducting
shows.
big events, big shows, and then the authorities are after them.
That's
Why
it.
are the authorities after them? There must be a reason.
Yeah. Probably not paying the money.
If you're just relaxing in your own world, you're doing good business, authorities won't be after you. They're not mad people.
Correct.
They have your numbers. They have all your books. But frauds and scams you're doing, they have everything. Okay? The harsh reality of the builders in India is only one. They show themselves luxurious. Okay? But frankly, the innerwear is all torn.
God, you described it in 2 lines. Just.
It's all torn.
I mean,
आपने किसी से लोन लिया. You went to the bank. You said that this is my site. I want to buy. I want to create a project over it. I'm going to sell off the project. I'm going to make money from that project, and then I'll start the other project.
but these guidelines have been revised recently, have
Yes,
they?
I'll come to that.
Okay.
So this was the earlier thing before 6 months ago.
Okay.
आप जाओ, आपके पास लैंड है, आप अपने लैंड अपने नाम पे कराओ. 10 करोड़ की लैंड है, आप अपने पास से 2 करोड़ दे दो, 8 करोड़ बैंक से आएगा. कंस्ट्रक्शन के पैसे भी बैंक से आएंगे. आप उसको कंस्ट्रक्ट करो, बेचो, और उसके बाद आप लोगों को फ्लैट्स बेचो और अपना प्रॉफिट कमाओ, फिर आगे जाओ. Simple. And this was very simple.
And this was happening since ages.
Ages.
Yes.
Okay. Now what builders, so-called top builders, what they did, वो लोन पे लोन लेते गए, लोन पे लोन लेते गए, लोन पे लोन लेते गए, लोन पे लोन लेते गए. They complete their half project, and then they move on to the other project. They move on to the other project, then they launch the other project. So by the time they reach to the third and fourth project, बाकी जो पहला project start किया था वो भी complete नहीं होता.
Such a
Now the
vicious-
bank sitting there waiting, कि let this project complete and then we'll take over the other project. वो complete ही नहीं हुआ है तो बैंक के पास पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे? They get into the NPA category. Now they go to the other bank. They bribe them. They talk shit about them. They show their cars. They show their good clothing, designer clothing, this and that. And lately, when the other bank is satisfied, फिर इसको close करने के लिए उससे loan ले लिया. They will give back the bank of first bank.
This
money
is
of
a
the first
vicious
bank.
cycle.
It is, and this is what the reality of India is. Maximum builders. You talk about the builders who are making the flats for 50 lakhs. All the builders who are making the flats for even 100 crores. This is the reality. The deviation of money. And they keep on running here and there. They're having the whole department in their office. कहाँ से पैसा आएगा? कहाँ से पैसा आएगा? कहाँ से पैसा आएगा? Everywhere. आज इस बैंकर को बुला लो, आज एजीएम को बुला लो, इस जनरल मैनेजर को बुला लो, आज इस क्रेडिट मैनेजर को बुला लो, एंड दिस इज व्हाट द रियलिटी इज. और इसका इफेक्ट आता है ऑन द पीपल.
Middle class people.
Yes.
Because the vacuum has been so big now.
How many cases have been registered against so many builders?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I can't take the names, but you know the reality.
Everybody knows, sir. It's an everyday case.
Yeah. They don't want to complete the project. With the people's money, they buy their own houses. They should buy their own cars. They show off that they're sitting in London, they're doing parties in Vegas, Dubai, or wherever. But end of the day, that all money doesn't belong to them. All are scamsters.
And these can 100% they can never be solved, right?
No.
Even when the guidelines have been revised.
No, now the guidelines have been revised. Why? Because RBI had to take a decision that now we are not giving you money to buy the land. First, you put your own money, you buy the land, then phase wise, you will get the money to construct. That's why RERA is there. That RERA opens up an escrow account that whosoever is giving the money for the booking, only 40% will be with RERA and 60% will be given to this builder to make the building and complete it. Because anyone and everyone was becoming builder. They were taking the loan from the bank and just enjoying their lives. I see hundreds of people coming to me. They're defaulters. There are many people who have got into the problem because of the valuation, but now they know that yes, we have done wrong and now we need to come out of it.
But how do they sleep after doing so many scams?
Very easily. 2 drinks
The
down
beautiful
and they're
bed.
okay. Yeah, very easily. I'm sorry, one of the builder threw a very wonderful party right now, like a month back maybe, in which the good top Bollywood dancers were called. And what happened? After 2 days, there was a raid from one of the authorities. And now they're under radar. Don't commit what you can't do.
Yes.
Don't commit that. You're calling yourself, a big builder.
Yes.
But you're not a builder. You're a scamster. You are surviving and you're living on people's money.
And how ugly does it get with time?
With time, they will be thrown inside the jail. And they won't be coming out. There are a lot of builders already sitting inside.
Like, does anybody come to you with a profile like that and ask for a recovery?
Yes, they do.
They do.
And particularly in easy consultants, if I like the person and if I know that this person is in problem and saying the truth right now, I will help them.
Wow.
But I'll make sure that my team does the proper audit.
Wow.
Yeah, because without audit, without due diligence, what the person is saying in front is separate. But what is the backside story, no one knows. So that's why due diligence.
And that's where your ethics are also important.
Yes.
To you.
My money is not there to throw.
Correct.
Tomorrow the person says that I have given a collateral value of 50 crores to a bank. I have got 15 crores and now I'm turned into an NPA. You take 50 crores land, give me 25, I'll complete my project and I'll give you the money back. Okay. But I'll first check that why he turned into an NPA.
So for the layman or the normal audience watching this who don't understand the sensitivity of it, what is NPA and how does one get into it?
So NPA is a non-performing asset.
Okay.
As per the banking rules, if you don't pay the EMIs for 3 months continuously to the bank, then you are booked as an NPA. And after 4th month or 5th month, the bank gets into the process of SARFAESI and they will take over your property. And they will block your everything. Everything. Then you need to go and file the petitions in the court, and that's how your property lately is sold off to the other person.
You're jammed.
Yeah, you're jammed. These are the kind of profiles I do funding. These are the kind of profiles I give my financial consultancy as well. I'm a consultant also.
Yes.
So I do my consultancy as well.
Wow.
If rather I'm not giving the loan to them, rather any of my partner is not giving loan to them, then we will guide them to go where.
Okay.
What kind of papers to be presented. We will connect them with some people. Rather, we might not come directly in the picture. But yes, internally we'll get their loan done.
Okay. What is the most interesting case that you've indulged yourself in?
Okay. 3 years before, sorry, not even 3 years, today 2026, 5 years down the line, there was a gentleman in Maharashtra running a good clothing industry.
Okay.
And he happened to came to me, we had a word through someone. We very clear about his project and the company was running, everything was going good. But he was falling into this NPA category very soon because his payments got stuck somewhere in the other parts of the countries.
Okay.
I helped him. But lately, the interesting part was, what I came to know was that this guy, he deviated the money to open up the new industry rather than clearing the bank loan. So we met again, we had a word that why you did that, sir, sorry. They have thousands of excuses. When there is a lie, there are excuses.
100%.
Yeah, so I said, okay. Then we helped him again. And now today with the turnover, earlier in 2021, their turnover was approximately 75 crores.
Okay.
Now they're sitting on a turnover of more than 500 crores.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Was this because of your assistance?
I wouldn't say assistance. I would only say that it was just a help.
Oh, just a help. Okay.
Assistance is that I would be assisting him in everything.
No.
It was just a help. I loved the gentleman. So what I do personally is that when I meet the person, I get to know, touch wood with my sixth sense or intuition or whatever you say.
It's always on
in
point.
half an hour.
Always on point.
Always on point.
Maybe that's what you gain through this field
Of
also.
course, knowledge and experience counts together, no?
Yes. But so, okay, coming back to the point, this, again, as entrepreneurship is also fancy, again, investments have also taken a lot over. So even a 14-year-old guy is telling right now on a reel that where you can invest your money or your pocket money.
ChatGPT.
So I don't know, and I don't understand the future of this industry if everybody is going to barge in with their piece of advices. Who do we trust? How do we trust? How do we know that an advisor or a consultant or an organization is worthy enough?
You need to experience that again.
Okay.
See, everyone is having a family doctor.
Yes.
When you're having a small problem, you go to the family doctor, and whatever the doctor say, you follow that.
Correct.
When there is a big problem, you tend to go to the family doctor, but the family doctor himself refers you to some other doctor as well.
Correct.
Right?
Great simile.
So that's how, when you are moving there in the market for your own funding, whomsoever you were talking to, better go and talk to one or two more funders.
Okay. Do your research.
Yes. And then you see where you are getting the proper numbers of repayment, proper structure of repayment. Today, if I tell you, there are a lot of funders who are giving the money to the people, and they know they've gone into the NPA category and no bank and no NBFC will support them. They give them the money on those terms and conditions where the other person is already dead. Now it's only left to burn him. It starts from 3 to 4% per month. 3 to 4% per month. So if you calculate, it is approximately 36 to 48% per year.
Oh my God.
How will the person survive? They cannot. They cannot. He is dead, and you're standing with a matchstick. Okay, now burn.
And people, in a way, they already know this, right?
People know it, but what they do? Everyone needs money.
Is there any option? No.
Everyone needs money. Which is why I decided at Easy Consultants that we will help the people and we will give them a path where they can work upon it, they can travel it, and then they can complete their journey and say goodbye to us with a good smile.
Oh, wow.
We started with an interest rate of 7%
Okay.
per annum, which goes till 15% per annum. Again, there is a catch. The banks take EMI, which is principal plus interest every month. In Easy Consultants, we are just taking interest. No EMI.
Wow.
Why would a person go to an investor? Because he is in problem. Otherwise, you would have easily got the loan from any other bank.
Correct.
Now, as an investor, if I see it lightly that, okay, this person is in problem. Now, if I only start thinking about my profits, I'll give it to you at 50% annually, 60% annually, 40% annually. And person is so desperate, person will say, yes, sir, please give it.
Yes.
But I know my money is not coming back. I will end up taking the best of the interest from him, and my money will get doubled in, let's say, 1 year down the line. I'll be done. You die, you do whatever, I don't care. That's the mentality. But here, what we do is, let's say you are an NPA now and you need our support. First, we have a process to follow.
Okay.
All right? Tomorrow, if you come and meet me and you tell me that I need a loan of 10 crores, let's say, and then I have my own due diligence team, where are lawyers, where is an audit team, where accountants are there, then other agencies are involved, where they will do your due diligence for 30 to 45 days or 60 days.
Okay.
If I have said yes, I will give you the loan, then it means I will give you the loan. But that due diligence is just for the information that whatever you have told me is correct or not.
Okay.
That is one thing.
Okay.
Then we decide on the ROI. ROI is done, which is the least. And then lately, in Easy Consultants, what we have decided is that we give them a moratorium for minimum 6 months to 1 year, in which they don't have to pay us even any interest. All right?
Oh, wow. So impressive.
Yeah. So I have given you the money. You enjoy it for 6 months. Come out of your problem first. From the first month only, if I'll start taking the money from you, you will end up thinking only one way, yaar, mera ब्याज जाना, main kahan
So
se
much
laun,
pressure,
kahan se laun.
indeed. Yes.
He's already under pressure, yeah. And tomorrow, if the person will revive and the person will do wonders and his business will do wonders, then of course he will come with a good smile and say thank you.
I mean, that must be the case right now. Also, your clients must be very having a jolly feedback.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we do that.
Wow.
In terms of clients, I tell you one thing. There are a lot of clients who say fake things.
Okay.
They send us fake papers
Oh.
just to have that loan.
But as you said, you have a strong team.
That's why due diligence.
That's why due diligence.
Because it's so much of default is going on in India, particularly in the lobbies like Builders Lobby, hospitals, and the jewelers. So that's why now even banks have become cautious.
Okay.
And even we have become cautious.
And it's required, right?
It is required.
Need of the hour.
It is required.
But sir, when we see these, funding events, not the shows,
events.
but events, wherein there are tons and tons of people, brands wearing same jerseys and t-shirts and pitching hardcore. What about it? Your smile says a lot of things. What is it?
You're talking about the investors or the people who pitch in?
I'm talking about both. But definitely I would love to start with the investors.
Some investors are wonderful to work with,
Okay.
for sure. I wouldn't say that only I am the only investor in the world. There are wonderful investors to work with, and they also give a supporting hand only to those who have the clear vision. Let it be whatever they're wearing. Okay. But if you talk about some of the investors, or rather 80% of the investors who call themselves the investors, so they're just there to show off and, accumulate as much money they can in terms of processing fee from the people and never get back to them. What is a brand? Tell me.
Brand is something that a few people have together started creating, working on it.
It's an idea.
It's an idea, right?
Okay. If the person is not having the proper knowledge, the brand will collapse.
Yeah. What do you do with the idea then?
Nothing at all. So that's how the money of the investor will also collapse.
Correct.
Okay. Or rather, if they have invested their own money, it will collapse. So these kind of events, they give the clarity to the people that what is the real picture of investment, what is the real picture of a brand coming up, and what is the real picture of a brand getting collapsed.
And where are they standing right now?
Where are they standing? एक बहुत पुरानी कहावत है, हर बाप का दूसरा बाप होता है. And it is the fact.
It's a fact.
So we never see whatever our forefathers have taught us. Whatever they used to say, that's saying because of their own experiences in the world. ऐसा नहीं है कि तब का 10 रुपए आज का 100 रुपए है, 1000 रुपए है, right? But वो तब का 10 रुपए भी मेहनत से कमाया जाता था. There was no cheating, there were no scams. Big scamsters like Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, taken up all the money from the banks, and now they are sitting in London and everywhere. Why don't they come back to their country and talk? Recently, Mr. Mallya did a wonderful podcast stating, no one told me to give this much money. I was ready to give the money. If you were ready to give the money, come and give. No.
Come now.
Yeah, come now. If you're having that much money, come now and give that money. What are you waiting for? Only afraid that the authorities will put you behind the bars. Okay. Send the money. At least clear the loans, clear the debts.
Yes. You can call podcasting team from there to your place, but you cannot send money.
So just talks. Just talks. Rather you talk about the luxury of so-called good builders and all. I know very closely few builders. Tomorrow they have to pay the bank EMI. And today they are flying to Mauritius with their own family in the private jet. And they don't have money to pay the EMI.
And me...
Tomorrow they have to go and clear the payment for 10 people where you are supposed to handle them, you hand over their flats. You are not delivering the flats, rather you are spending 5 to 10 crores in your daughter's and your son's marriage in Rajasthan. You're bloody frauds. How can a person trust anyone then?
I tend to fail at understanding their psychology right now.
Their psychology is only one कि लोगों के पैसे पे जियो, बैंक के पैसे पे जियो, अपना चलता रहता है, बात खत्म. केसेस ही तो हो रहे हैं. इंडिया में तो हजारों केस चलते हैं. Their mentality is only that. I happen to know one very close person, very close. His son recently got married somewhere. I'm sorry, I can't take the name.
No, that's absolutely okay.
His total profile in the Noida, in other parts of the country, is as a builder but as a big time defaulter. He has been arrested by economic offence wing also. Thrown behind the bars 2 times. He's not ready to deliver the flats to the people. He's not ready to repay to the banks. But you spend 10 crores in your son's marriage. Calling the dancers, the troops, the this and that, showing off to your relatives. Bloody fraud.
But how long will they survive like this? I don't understand.
They will survive like this till the time the lawyers are handling it well.
That's where they get their protection.
You see his daughters, LV, Gucci, Armani, Tod's and everything. And tomorrow they don't go to the office because there are hundreds of people sitting there, what about my flat? At least the money you are using in your luxury, make those flats and give it to the people or either give them money back. You're spending 10 crores, 5 crores in your son's wedding, daughter's wedding, and you're not ready to pay to those people who have invested their hard-earned money in your project.
The only chunk of money that they would...
Yes, and that chunk particularly is middle class.
Yes.
And that too, a lot of people are lower middle class.
I should not say this, but you must have seen people like this tend to die at a dirty, ugly death. And there's a reason behind it, right? That's how they...
Frankly, what I have seen, they don't die very soon.
Why is this? Because it's Kali Yuga.
That's what this Kali Yuga is.
That's why it is Kali Yuga. Okay, coming back to the point, sir, any other interesting thing now that we were talking about events, there are a lot of reality shows in the finance and the investing industry these days. What about it? Tell me, because if we are seeing 2,000 episodes of a certain show, do you think all of them are getting supported, financially assisted by investors like that, sitting on those fancy, beautiful, wearing their couture, What do you think about that?
The brand owners who have their own brands and now become investors.
Right.
I'll tell you one name. Mr. David Bars.
Okay.
He is a columnist.
Okay.
He's an investor. A French guy. Settled in Hong Kong. He never wears a shirt, I think, more than $100. You will always see him roaming around in his normal sweatshirts, normal t-shirts. Jeans not even more than $100. Forget about the brands.
Modest guy.
And he has done more than $10 billion of funding all over the world till now. Wow. Okay. I talk to him sometimes in a month, once. And it's only 5 minutes call with him. He doesn't talk to anyone and everyone. He's a very simple guy. I call them investors. Okay. Reality shows. You said 2,000 episodes. In one episode, more or less, you must have seen 5 people getting checks.
Correct.
or let's say 10 people getting checks. Okay. So cut down the number, let's say 100 episodes. 100 episodes. In 100 episodes, per episode, more than 10 people getting checks.
Correct.
Okay. So that comes out to be a number of 1,000 people. Where are the businesses? Where are they? I am still searching for them.
Yes, they are there on the reels wherein they're saying, yes, this show trusted us. What about you?
Which is good for PR.
It's good for PR.
That's it. But getting to that show, again, you have to invest money. It is not that they will call you like that only.
On an average, how much do they charge?
As far as I know, it is approximate between 5 to 10 lakhs to get you there on the show, to give you that visibility.
Depending on the profile.
Depending on the profile.
And then after that,
When you are thrown in front of the investors, if you get the check, then again there is a new agreement signed backstage, which is an NDA.
okay.
Now lately, whatever we will talk, you cannot discuss in the public. Then the program itself, the producers itself, they will take a fee of 3%.
Or whatever they're getting on
Yes.
those checks. Okay.
And then the new terms and conditions. So out of those so-called 10 checks of yours, only 1 or 2 agree.
Rest is just a
How many
show.
seasons you must have seen of, let's say, any one of the reality shows past 5 years down the line? 2,000, 3,000?
Yes.
Okay. Almost 500, 600, 1,000 people must have got the checks. Where are those businesses? For a startup, 5 crore and 10 crores, even I give it like that. It's a huge amount. Where are the businesses? Why are they not surviving? Why are they rather not thriving?
But my question is, why? Where are they? I'm asking this to you now. You
They're
made me-
nowhere. They never got the payments.
They never got the payments?
No.
तो जो हम shows देख रहे हैं, this is just a show game.
एक पुरानी वो है ना लाइन, पर्दे में रहने दो पर्दा ना उठाओ, ये यहाँ सूट करती है.
That's why I think that's just something that people can show to their prospect clients one day, that they got into this and that at a certain cost.
You went for a pitching and you did the pitching and you came back. How does it matter? You do pitch to 10 investors, to 10 venture capitalists. How does it matter? Because that thing has gone particularly famous. That has given you a more visibility in the market because they're having a good PR team. All right? So that's it. And more or less, no one is watching the flip side of it. Those investors are getting a good PR, and that's how their brand is going up and up and up and up and up. Their graph is going up and up.
Because nobody now asks for the brand, they ask uska, unka, wo brand de do. They talk that. People don't realize it's both ways, right?
It's both ways. They are doing their own PR.
Yes, now they're dancing and making funny videos
Yeah.
just for those extra views.
And just to pitch to any investor, if you have to pay money, what is this nonsense? You pay money for due diligence for you. Okay. You pay money to get the loan for yourself. Okay. All right. But just to pitch to an investor, you're giving him money. Why? Who does that?
It's us, the audience, who have made that
Because
possible.
they have gone into that entertainment world. They are not thinking that this particular program is giving more of TRP to those investors and their brands. You come into that boardroom only for hardly 10 minutes. 10 minutes doesn't give you that much visibility. They are sitting there for 1 hour.
God.
So there's the other side of it. You check the share price, you check the graph of those companies now. It's altogether very different. That's the good journey which they are living. Not these people who are. I'm not saying कि सबको पैसे नहीं मिलते या सबका अच्छा नहीं होता. होता है.
But not the amount जो हमें दिखाया जाता है.
वो कुछ नहीं होता.
वो कुछ नहीं होता है. And what about the ones that are actually converting, what about the whole ratio or the percentage of them turning into an owner? They're just running
They will
behind.
never be the owners of their own brand till the time the equity partner is sitting inside the brand.
With time, it increases a lot.
But brand fail हो गया तो out of 100 startups opening up, only 5 survive. Not more than that.
But I've seen a very big difference between how reality shows, investment based, are there in the other countries as compared to India. It's more of a, drama going on, don't you think so?
It's a drama. It's a drama. Why can't you open up an office and sit and then invest to the people? Why do you have to go into programs?
People are actually performing, not pitching at the show. Have you seen that?
That's it. They come, they dance, pitching in some different languages.
There is a whole Nukkad Natak going on.
Nukkad Natak. Some props are there, this and that. That's not pitching. You haven't seen their books, you haven't seen their numbers, you haven't seen their synopsis. You're talking about their rebata, you're talking about your performance ratio, you're talking about what is your deadline for this particular project. And that's how you say, okay, yes.
And all verbal.
And all verbal.
Yeah.
Why? That's not investment. That's how angel investors never work.
And what about angel investors, how they operate in India as compared to how the structure is for them in US?
See, US structure, Indian structure, first I'll tell you about the rate of interest.
Okay.
In US, the rate of interest is very less for investors. It starts from 3%, goes maximum till 6% per annum.
Okay.
Because that's how the rules are there.
Wow.
Okay? There are no particular rules from the government of India over the angel investors. At whatever rate and whatever ratio they want to distribute their money, they can.
Right.
Okay. Anyone and everyone can be an angel investor considering the amount they want to invest. That's what I told you. 2 crore wala bhi bolta main investor hu. Nonsense. So what happens is, like in India, the process is very simple. When you pitch to someone, first you send your books to that person. When the team sitting there says okay, then you get into the final meeting at the Google Meet or the front meeting, face-off meeting with the investor. If the investor likes your idea, how we follow in Easy Consultants, if we like the idea, particularly if I like the person, then I will ask for a processing fee to do their own due diligence, which is 0.02%, 0.05% or 0.5% of the loan amount.
Okay.
Which is adjusted in their first interest, because nothing comes for free. Tomorrow, you go to the same any other investor, and my other team is doing the due diligence, and you come to me and say, now I don't need your investment. My due diligence has taken time, and nothing comes for
time
free.
and effort, yes.
Nothing
Money
comes
also.
for free. All right. Then lately, if everything is okay, if everything is fine, rather whatever the person said is correct in the papers, then we do the investments.
Okay.
Yeah. Simple process. Not like you keep on waiting, keep on waiting, keep on waiting, keep on waiting. No. And if we can't do it, we guide them where they can go. We connect them as the consultants to the other people. You go here, you go there, you connect with them, your work can be done. And then we try to push with our own connects.
Okay.
So this is how it happens.
And what is the most, what is the bad side of the Indian finance, whatever you say, the support system or the consultancy system that you see today, that is not up to the mark or something that we can learn from other countries as well?
See, what is not up to the mark is the first important thing in the finance field. If I talk about from the investor's side, there are a lot of scammers sitting.
Okay.
You need to nab down those scammers and you need to throw them out or put them behind the bars. Okay. If you talk about from the client's side, people who are taking the money for their business, they should invest only in their business and complete what they're taking the money for. It's not that they're just taking the money and again throwing big time parties and calling big stars in their shows. It shouldn't be there. Because in US or UK, when the agreements are made, they are completely law-abiding. And they make sure that everything reaches to the federal authorities.
Okay.
Yeah. If the person is doing any kind of default, then immediately the federal authority steps in.
Wow.
And you get blacklisted for the rest of your life. No one can invest in you
There's
again.
no coming back.
No coming back. But here, because in India we call ourselves a democratic country, it's good to have a democratic country, but giving so much of freedom in the finance field is not good.
Okay. Well, way too flexible we are.
Very flexible. Very flexible. And that's how these profiles, they are very easy to play with. They play with the investors, they play with the banks, they play with the NBFCs, which is wrong.
So now when you talk about profiles, another thing that came in my head, you being an investor, how do you know that a founder is financially mature or not? What are the few things that you
That you come to know with your own talks and words.
That's true.
Wearing LV Gucci doesn't make us understand the person's anything. We don't get into this that, oh, he's wearing a Hublot, he's wearing a LV, he's wearing a Gucci, oh my God, he's having so much of money, then why the hell are you sitting in front of me?
True.
Why are you sitting in front of me if you're having this much?
True that.
Yeah. If you're coming into a Maybach and you're saying that, oh my God, sir, I need 10 crores. You're owning a 5 crores car. Go and sell it off.
Correct.
But India, it's all about show off.
That's how the other investors get convinced. True that. Is
Yes,
that
they do.
true? No due diligence.
No due diligence.
For anybody who's coming in a
Nothing at
Porsche.
all.
No.
Nothing
My
at all.
God.
You never know, the Porsche has been bought by other people's money.
Or has been rented by a friend for a day.
Maybe. Maybe.
So you must have stopped trusting people just on the sake of words.
No, I don't.
You don't?
No. As an investor, no one should actually.
Yeah, because you're in a business like that.
Yeah. No one should. People are desperate enough to have money, but if you talk about their actual profile, that comes after the due diligence.
And people just think that getting a funding means just convincing. For say right now, an investor like you is sitting in front of me. If I convince you into it, that's exactly pitching and getting a funding. But when we talk about the real world funding that you've seen, what is it exactly?
So the real world funding is by books,
The numbers.
the numbers. What is your books saying about you? Or even if you're an NPA, why you went into that category and whatever you have told me, if it is actually matching with whatever you have told me verbally, is that correct or not?
I really like this thing about you. If you're not optimistic, you're not even pessimistic. You're neutral.
Yeah.
Even if the NPA is there, you're like, this guy deserves a chance if he's saying the
Yeah.
right story.
If he's saying the right story, I should like the person.
Correct.
I should like the person. It is more about helping people rather than destroying them again.
Right.
But as I said, if there are fake investors, there are fake clients as well.
Has there been a case where you have been scammed through a
Yes,
client?
once.
Yes.
Yes.
And
I loved the guy. He was from Hyderabad.
okay.
I loved his personality, all buttons closed till here every time, wearing a good proper suit.
Okay.
So I don't know. One thing about the finance field is that you got to go everywhere in the meetings in a suit, and I never wear a suit.
Oh. Okay. Is that
I
a
will
bold
go in my shorts and do my meetings. I don't care who the hell are you.
And you're the investor. Why would anybody care?
That's what. That's what. But people consider this also in a wrong way.
No.
इसके पास क्या ही होगा ये शॉर्ट्स में बैठा है.
And you're like, आप आइए तो सही पहले.
So I met this guy suited up.
Yeah.
He did show me this piece of land. Okay, and that was my initial days. And I said, okay, let me understand. He took good care of me. We went to a restaurant for a good dinner, and then we sat down for a couple of drinks and talking, and made me meet his family also, which generally we don't do. But he made me meet his family. We went there, stayed there for a night, I said, okay, looks like a good family guy. Invest it. But I forgot to do my due diligence. Lately, I came to know the land was never his part. It belonged to someone else.
Maybe you were also fooled by a fancy dinner after all.
I was.
Initially, as I
Initially, yes.
That was first and the last time you were fooled?
People, they say that, okay, sir, we are giving you this processing money. Please do our due diligence. And then after giving the money, they feel that now they are investors and now I have to give them money.
Oh.
Okay.
The tables flips.
The tables flips.
Oh.
But they don't understand, if I don't understand their books, tomorrow, even if they get into the problem again, I can help them again.
And then you assure them when they first visit you, they meet you? And now I'm understanding. Now after so many questions, I understand the psychology of where you're getting these things from.
Yeah.
Wow. But also another thing is that I want to also talk about the layman, the middle class people. A low credit score is a very prevalent thing right now in our nation because of XYZ reasons. So as an expert in the field, do you think somebody can recover from that and come to a better position?
See, if we talk about the middle class, and if they've got into some problem like that, it's rather best to go to the friends and families and seek some money and clear it off. Because first, like in Easy Consultants, we don't do funding less than 5 crores. And the number maximum is nowhere. If we talk about the small profiles who's seeking a loan of 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, an investor is not an investor who is doing any kind of funding like that, first of all.
Okay.
So it's better to go your family and friends and clear that off. Because CIBIL is very important.
Very important. Your life depends on it, right?
Yes. CIBIL is like your certificate of your good life, that what have you done, what have you taken, where have you paid, where have you haven't paid. So if you default, let's say in 2010, you take a loan in 2040 also, you will not get it.
I saw this funny newspaper article in a Hindi newspaper. I was sitting very idle at a reception of certain office and I started looking in. So girl rejected a guy because of low CIBIL score.
Wonderful. Which was good.
And I discussed that with my father. He was like, she did the right thing.
Yes, which is good.
Yes.
Yes.
And I was like, what will he do the rest of his life? And now I realize this, that why was he so right about this?
Which is good.
So you can reject people on low CIBIL score?
No, I do help them. If I like the person, again, as I said.
So if your boyfriend has a low CIBIL score, they can reach out Easy Consultants.
Of course. But with good assets.
Yes,
Because
obviously.
we don't do without collateral. Even I need my security.
100%.
You are a defaulter, you are into NPA, you want to complete your project, you're not getting the bank support again, you want to buy the land and make a new project, you are into agriculture, you are into pharma, you are into hospitality, you are into hospitals, you are a builder, or whatsoever field. Easy Consultants is standing there.
The high-end cases.
Yes, only the high-end cases.
Wow. Nice. But sir, now that you've been in this industry for a while, and I could see very clearly how transparently you're answering these questions, what is this advice that you want to give it to anybody who wants to hop into the financial industry one day? What's the one
As
advice?
an investor? Or maybe as a client?
As an investor.
As an investor, if you want to hop into this industry, the only part you do is start understanding the feelings of the people.
Okay.
India runs on feelings, not on books.
Is India the only country that runs on emotion?
Yes.
Because
I have
you've
traveled all
world.
of the world.
Yes.
And only few states left. Otherwise, I have covered all the world. Only and only India runs on emotions. And if you are good with your emotions, rather your books say whatever, and you are true to the investor, you will get the investment.
Wow.
I always say, people end up investing into the startups, which is just an idea. Okay. Why don't you go and invest into the companies which are already having experience and they are sitting in problem? Not those fake builders who are enjoying their luxury. But at least there are profiles. There are builders who are in genuine problem. Bank committed them something, but they didn't deliver.
Yeah.
Go and help them.
Wow.
It'll be good.
Wow.
Angel, you understand the word, na? Angel.
Yes.
So why angel investor is up? Why? Because you come as an angel to support.
But rather we have devil investors now.
Yeah, they are.
That's the new
They're
term.
playing with the feelings of the people.
Right. And what if I say few years down the line, if you want people to know easy consultants, how do you want them to see it like?
In few years down the line, I just want them to see us as angels.
Oh, wow.
They should come to us if they are in problem, but when you are completely able to tell the truth. You say that I have murdered a person, I will say, okay, no problem, but tell me the truth.
Wow.
Because tomorrow if I find out, I'll back out.
And then you're not getting any help.
No way. Then your profile is blacklisted.
Whoa. So if somebody comes to you with a second time, with a more like
No,
a...
we don't.
You don't?
No.
You don't entertain?
No.
At all?
No.
Wow.
Once the file is blacklisted, it's blacklisted.
That's how you know that you're a dignified investor.
Yes.
Wow.
Because as investors, we can't bow down.
Correct. Even your goodwill matters a lot.
Yes.
So thank you so much that you're
Thank you
here.
so much,
And
Anubhav.
the way you've answered, it's quirky answers, and anybody who's not even from the field would understand you so well. So thank you so much for
Thank you, Taman.
doing justice to these questions, of explaining us in the best possible manner.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
so glad you took out time and you came to Mike Pimilling.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So guys, this is it for this episode. If you really enjoyed this entire episode and you feel like that you have any doubts from our guest today, do comment and do subscribe to our channel and stay connected for more.